So, of course, the talk of the town, everybody's talking about it. Edward Newgate being permanently banned. You can no longer use this leader if you want to in the One Piece card game in a couple of days for the English format. And so now everybody's rushing, battling against the clock, trying to figure out the meta of what they want to play up until OP05 releases. And in this video, a lot of people in other videos, they've been doing tier lists and all of those things. You guys know I hate doing tier list videos, but I do it because I know you guys like it and it gets a lot of views. If I want to play the view game, I easily could just say, here's my post-ban list tier list. But I'm not doing that. In this video, I want to talk to you guys about the leaders that I'm actually excited to dabble with and play. Obviously, there's online regionals that are coming up with this new ban list in check, and I actually got into a couple of them, and so I'm going to talk about some decks that I'm playing around with and the ones that I'm thinking about running with. So with that being said, wait, did I even introduce myself? Just in case if you guys are new, and even if you guys have been here from day one. How's it going, everybody? My name is Ryan, aka say it with me, Blackbeard TCG. Hopefully you guys are all having an amazing day, and if not, hopefully I can make it a little bit better. Now look, right before I get into all of this, I just want to apologize for the lack of consistency. Again, I just want to be serious. I always try to have a bunch of energy in my videos, and that's because it's authentic. And when I don't have that energy, I just don't feel like uploading. And over the past couple of weeks, you guys have noticed that the consistency has fallen off, and that's because I've been going through some stuff in my personal life. Of course, obviously, I'm not going to divulge it in this video because I'm sure you guys don't care. We all have things that we go through, but I just wanted to let you guys know. I feel like I owe it to you guys to at least say that I was going through some things. I do have it figured out for the most part now, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring you guys consistent content as we go forward, but of course I'll take breaks when needed, but I will try my best. I think things are set now, and we have a ton of things to discuss over the next couple of days, over the next couple of weeks as we head into OP05. I have a huge project coming up with Sakazuki, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and talk about the leaders. So first, let's talk about the leaders that got hit. So obviously, when it comes to Edward Newgate, he's banned, right? So there's nothing we need to talk about in regards to that. So with Zoro and Law getting hit, a lot of people are saying that like these decks are done, right? In my opinion, I don't think these decks are done. Like, are they hit? Of course. But is it like, are they like tier like E decks now? Like garbage trash tier decks? No, like I think that there's no way for Trafalgar Law to not be a good deck. Like, I refuse to believe that this deck is anything below A tier. Like, you guys know, I've always said this is like the best like S plus tier deck in the hands of like good players, just from what I've seen, because obviously I'm not at that level, that's for sure. But from what I've seen and what we've all seen across multiple regions, I mean, Law is just absolutely cracked. Sure, obviously it did get hit with some consistency issues when it comes to the Nami, when it comes to the Dedans of the world, right? Of course, that's a thing that we have to talk about. However, I still believe that Trafalgar Law will be able to splash in other engines and still be able to perform. Remember, it's a generic ability. So as long as you got green, as long as you got red, as long as you got weenies, as long as you got decent 5-cost bodies, you're going to be able to pop off with Law. So for me, I still think that Law is going to be a strong deck, personally. I don't see him anywhere weaker than A, personally. I think that he's fine. When it comes to Zoro, I think Zoro definitely feels it a lot more. It's interesting. I wonder if people are going to go more of like a weenie engine and play Zoro like that. However, that is the perfect segue for me to talk about the leader that I'm excited to pick up and I've actually been dabbling a lot with, and that's starter deck Luffy. I've been playing a lot more starter deck Luffy. As you guys know, you guys are probably like, Ryan, you always say that you hate red decks. You hate red decks. What the heck, man? Like, why are you going to starter deck Luffy? Well, I don't know. And again, I don't want to be like somebody that's like, what's the word? Not a hipster. There might be a word for it. A contrarian? I don't know. If you guys know what word I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section below. But I don't want to be that type of person where it's like, oh, well, now that red got nerfed, now I can play it. And I just didn't want to play it because it was OP. Like, no. Like, honestly, like, it just is what it is. For whatever reason, I was just like, oh, you know what? Because I'm trying to, like, it's exciting to try to figure out, like, what's going to be good in the meta. I started to dabble in ST1 Luffy. And it's actually pretty fun. So this is a leader that I'm actually super hyped to play, and I'm actually really curious of bringing it to the online regional that we have coming up. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I don't know what people's thoughts are on this Luffy overall, but you know, it's really interesting being able to use that one rested Dawn. It puts in work. We all know how strong it was back in ST. Oh, sorry, not in ST. Back in OP01. I mean, we're here in OP04 now, so time has gone on. But with that being said, this is one of the leaders that I'm super excited about. Now, is this leader going to be stronger than Zoro? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But for me, I'm more excited to play Luffy. I've never excited to play Zoro personally, so I don't care about that. But when it comes to Luffy, this is a leader that I'm excited for. So now let's go ahead and talk about other leaders I'll be excited for. So obviously, you know, a lot of people are talking about Charlotte Katakuri. Shout out to Aibo. Aibo made a tweet saying that he believes that Charlotte Katakuri is not even going to win a single event. That is like a super spicy take for me. I mean, I respect the take. I'm gonna have to disagree. I feel like this deck is disgustingly good, especially when its checks got hit on the ban list and it still can run free. I mean, I would be more surprised if Katakuri has zero like performances. Like if he has zero performances, I would be more surprised if that happens than the opposite, right? I just think that this is going to be good. Am I excited to play Charlotte Katakuri myself? No, I won't be playing this. I don't care about Charlotte Katakuri. I just don't like the deck, which is ironic because like I'll be playing Enel next set, and Enel doesn't really play like Charlotte Katakuri, but it's still yellow. Obviously, I play Queen. I'm always excited to play Queen. Still very excited to play Queen as well. But let's talk about some of the other new leaders. So we already talked about Luffy being one of the newer leaders that I'm excited for this ban list. Or post-ban list. I'm also excited. You guys might just be saying like, oh my gosh, bro, are you just going back to starter deck or to OP01 eras? But I'm actually excited about Purple Kaido, okay? Like, okay, so Purple Kaido is interesting because obviously we have the Captain starter decks coming out soon as well, right? And so that gives us access to some interesting things. And I feel like with Kaido, a lot of his problems was the speed of the game, right? Being unable to really keep up with the Zoros and the laws of the world. And so if the metagame does change to where people decide not to play those really fast-paced decks, people start to go to other things, and I feel like there's room for Kaido to really come into the picture. And, you know, I've been dabbling a lot with this Kaido, and getting some of the cards in the new starter deck is actually going to boost it up quite well. And I think that it could be a formidable opponent. Of course, you know, there's other purple decks that might have people excited, like Magellan as well. I think Magellan's definitely going to be a deck that could be really interesting and really exciting as well. But I have to be honest, I'm more excited to dabble with the Kaido as well. The third deck on this list is Blurple Kaido. Where is he? Where is Blurple Kaido? Oh, up here. Blurple Kaido is the other leader that I'm actually really excited about as well. You know, just being able to have a lot of tools, right? If you want to play a more event-focused version where you have like your Red Rocks or your 3000 Worlds, or maybe you want to play a high end of like Mihawks and things of that nature, you can. Or if you just want to play for like the hardcore ramp, remember now you have a searchable Onigashima with Who's Who, and you want to play for that hardcore ramp and play for that 10 cost, that 9 cost Kaido, right? Those endgame boss cards, then you could do that. It having 4 life, of course, is kind of but I mean, if it had 5 life, it'd be ridiculous. But I'd have to say that these 2 Kaidos, like, these are on the list. So right now, the decks I'm excited to play right now are OP01 Luffy, like the starter deck Luffy, starter deck Kaido, and then OP01 Blurple Kaido. So again, it looks like a blast from the past, right? But it's funny because like as the meta evolved, these decks just kind of fell out of favor. Now, other decks that are obviously going to be good. Again, this isn't a tier list video, but we just want to touch on it. You know, obviously, there's going to be Grape Doflamingo. I think that obviously that deck's still going to be good. We have I was going to say Doflamingo. We have Film Kid. Obviously, Film Kid is going to be very strong if you want to play green variant. And you guys know, man, like if you guys have been watching the channel, I've always been a fan of this deck. And I'm still a fan of Odin. Now, here's the thing, man. Like, Odin, I've actually been enjoying a lot of Odin in this set because now you can also play 10 cost Doflamingo in your Odin. And that makes it super fun. And it actually makes it kind of oppressive in the late game as well. And I actually think the deck gets better next set, unironically. Now, again, is it going to be able to contend with the beasts such as purple Luffy, or dare I say it, Sakaluchi. Yeah, it's probably not going to be able to do that on a consistent basis. But it's a deck right now in this limbo of a format that I'm absolutely excited to pilot. So I have to say, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, the 4 decks that I'm super excited to play are definitely going to be mono red Luffy. It's going to be mono purple Kaido, blurple Kaido, as well as Odin. These are the 4 decks that I'm really dabbling with, and I'll be playing one of them in one of the 2 online regionals. I might pick one of them for both, or I just might pick 2, like one for one and one for the other. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. With that being said, though, of course, I'm still expecting the meta to have a ton of Crocodile, right? I think Crocodile's still very good. You know, I'm expecting to see the Charlotte Katakuris. I'm still expecting to see Law, right? I'm expecting to see Grape Doflamingos. So, you know, the metagame has changed a bit, but I don't think it's going to be that drastic of a change where we're going to start seeing like icebergs topping and like Z or Z or however you want to pronounce it, depending on where you live. You know, we're not going to be seeing like those decks randomly topping, I don't think, right? So, I think we're still going to see a lot more of the same, but it's just going to be a lot less of the numbers, partially because all of the Edward Newgate players are going to have to go to a different deck, right? So yeah, with all that being said, I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section below. Give me 2 decks that you guys are excited to pilot once this ban list goes into effect. Are you guys just going to stick with the Katakuris or the Crocodiles of the world? Or maybe you're going to stick with your Trafalgar Law? Or if you were an Edward Newgate player, what deck are you going to? Are you going to switch to one of those other tier 1 decks that a lot of people are claiming to be absolutely top tier? Or are you curious about some of these other lower tier rogue decks like me, like the Monkey D. Luffy's or the Odins of the world? Let me know in the comment section below. I am out. Peace.